last video, I built the exterior of my dream home. And today I'm putting my painting hat on and we are decorating the inside. So today, these are my inspiration pictures. It is going to be just as detailed as the exterior is. We have 500k left of our $1 million budget. Subscribe if you're excited.
So excited!
And let's go! The eager eye among of you may notice this house is looking a little bit more big.
That's quite big.
That is because since last video, I actually added an extra chunk onto each side. I just thought the original house was a little bit too small. Also, to help us today, I've pre-selected a bunch of decals and I've pre-built the layout. So downstairs, this is what each room is going to be. And upstairs, this is what each room is going to be. But the first thing we need to do is the hallway. And you may notice there's a little bit of a situation going on. I am befuzzled whether to have my staircase as you walk in and then having a balcony here, or have a double staircase at the back and have a long hall. I honestly think I prefer the long hallway. First things first, we have got to place in the floor. We are doing doubled layered planks. As we get further on in the video, I actually have some custom floors. So who knows, I might end up changing the floor to this later on.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Next up, I placed in the fanciest pillars and wall trims I could find. Instead of using these lovely ones, today they're a bit basic.
You're basic.
So instead, we're going to be using these custom panels. Now, I don't know if I'm completely sold on these yet, but I think once everything else is in, then hopefully they'll look a little more normal. Now, each side, we can either have doors or we can have openings. We're going to use doors today. You might be wondering, Reese's, you just said doors. Why the hell are you placing an archway then? Well, that's because my little chickens are going to be making custom doors. I've never done this before, but I remember somebody telling me ages ago. Get an opening, you put a fence in, and then I think it is the modern panel gate. Finally, resize the door frame around it. That is such a sick door, y'all. And if you're wondering, you most certainly can double the doors up. Look at how detailed this room is. We could just leave it like this.
All right. I am done.
Next up is time for those console tables. Just to enhance this, we're simply just going to make it the texture of log. When adding a table lamp, don't just leave it as the lamp. Grab a vase. Then we can accompany this with some other bits and bobs. And the key is just to add a lot onto the table. I've then looked up mirror PNG. How nice does that look? Now, I hope you guys enjoy the custom building. Lots of you last time said you loved it, so I hope that that's still the case. And then just underground, I wanted these stools to be a little bit shorter, so I just placed them in the basement instead. And we often forget with these pillows, guys, that you can actually resize them to go flat. I don't think in BLOXBURG I've ever put a pillow flat like this. And oh, low battery. Let me charge my computer really quick. Oh, I love that noise. Now we can actually copy and paste this table. Probably the best thing about it. But the rule of thumb in a house is just do not copy and paste a table more than once. Next up, I added this detailed bookcase. So far, that is a beautiful looking entryway. So different from anything I've done before. Now, just as I'm adding the final few dresses in this room, I thought I'd give you one extra building hack. If you've ever got books poking through the top of a build, simply just use a basic cube, realign it on there, and wunderbar, it's fixed. For the roof, I wanted to add detail, so I simply added some of these structural beams. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I've been doing this for 45 minutes, but I just thought the entryway is the most important. It has to look special. So there are two final things I want to add in this entryway before we move on to the kitchen, which is first of all a carpet. So you see that tiny basic cube down there?
Ooh, that's kind of small.
You place the carpet upon the cube, and I highly advise putting them all in the row that they're going to go in first, because once you've put this down, it's a blimmin' pain to get back up. Now, the second thing I wanted to do also involves a miniature basic cube, and we are going to be making something I like to call a light fixture. So in really fancy rooms, they will often have supports on the light, and then add, obviously, the most expensive chandelier. And now tell me, how much better does that chandelier look? Just with that little extra on the top, and also double the chandeliers up. And I couldn't resist adding a door that separated the two rooms, guys. You've got to admit, that was the perfect final touch. Let's go to the kitchen. I just need to try something before we do anything. I want really tiny little checkered floors. So the way to do this with carpets, but as you can see, sometimes it goes mental chicken oriental. I don't think that looks that good at all. Get in the trash. So what I'm gonna do instead is just place a temporary floor for now. This kitchen, it ain't just a kitchen, honey. No, there's much more layers to it than that, sugar. It's actually gonna be a dining room as well. My recommended texture for these Victorian chairs is classical carpet, and then to make the sides kind of like wood. Now, I don't want to be controversial over on the channel, but I have gone off the table runners. I really don't like them anymore.
I don't like you.
I don't like you.
I don't like you.
Good, I don't like you.
Instead, sort of just set it up as if it was like a realistic dinner that's just finished. Maybe even some cups, etc. In the middle, though, we will have a flowery vase, even though we've run out of flowers. But that's actually perfect because we have some tulips growing on our front porch. So if we actually just store these, wunderbar, we have some more flowers. If we're going to garden, search up planter. Planter, that's a very British sounding word, isn't it? Then get some of these flower pots. This is the perfect place for some custom plants. Now, on my last video, the custom plants were very hit and miss. Most people did seem to like them, but I got a few comments like, the custom plants ain't it, Reese's. Now, I don't see that as hate comments. That's literally just people's opinions on the build. So I'm going to try and use less custom plants inside, but I do think that they look quite nice here. I normally use this as a shoe cabinet, but it's actually a dish cabinet. And basically, that's just going to save us a bunch of custom building because look at how nice this cabinet looks on its own. And once again, we'll add some bougie chandelier. Did that just cost me 8,000 for one light? Crumbs, BLOXBURG is getting really crazy expensive. Now to the actual kitchen. Sorry, I feel like I just dangled it in front of you there and then I was like, wait. So rather than using modern counters, I think I'm gonna use the Craftsman's one. And then I'm thinking about making them concrete and then green. I feel like that's so totally different from anything I've done. I'm probably gonna have to move these windows quite a bit just so that we can fit in all the appliances really. This corner here is screaming out to me to have a fridge and a cabinet unit. We are gonna have a sink here. Let's actually use these really nice sinks, which I started to use towards really the end of 2023, but I think they're going to be a 2024 classic if I can get them right.
Why isn't this working?
Let's also have fences kind of like matching up with the lines in the window. We can obviously have some bowls, etc. on some of them, but let's just fill up the shelves with all those items that have just reappeared. And we may as well bundle in the appliances on these shelves as well. And I think our appliance color scheme today is going to be white and blue. It's always good to pick the color scheme that works best for that kind of kitchen. And this might be one of the most detailed kitchens I've ever done, and I'm absolutely adoring it. You know, this is my longest, bestest ever video on the channel so far. So we've got to make it pop. Oh no, if you copy and paste these stools, it doesn't come with the pillows. That is such a shame, but I do think I'm going to use those stools anyway. Often people forget about this floating frying pan thing. I mean, I think personally it's just giving Harry Potter. But that's a good vibe. Since this is going to be the formal dining room in here, why not have some doors going in there? But what else should we put in there? That is the question. Now, this might turn out beautifully. It might turn out terribly. But I was thinking maybe just a tiny little coffee area. Honestly, I think that worked better than expected. I'll finish it off with the pillars and the lights. How beautiful does this kitchen now look? And I realized I went on such a rant about, yeah, we can't forget a fridge. This corner here is screaming out to me to have a fridge. And then I blimmin' forgot the fridge. Let's put that in, shall we? So since I built a dining room in the kitchen, when I went on to the main dining room, I sort of have just chopped it up a little bit for you. I thought I'd add panels, but the pink ones to make it a bit more bougie.
It's not my fault.
You like nice things.
Yeah, you know exactly who I am.
I then added these custom curtains, which actually look really nice. Then a fireplace. Finally, I did the roof. And we'll finish it off with some flowers. That is one bougie dining room. And I don't know if I said at the beginning, but all of you guys are invited in at the end to come look around. We've now got over half the downstairs done. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I've been doing this for 2 whole hours. So what I think I'm gonna do is we'll next up do the master bedroom. And that is sadly gonna be the only bedroom we do, because you don't need to see me build 5 bedrooms, and also the video would then be like 10 hours long. And then of course I'll finish the drawing room, laundry room and office. But before any of that, I need a snack, so be back in 2 seconds. Okay guys, I just had lunch. I had a lovely ham sandwich and I have some updates. So I did actually add the floor into the kitchen because I totally forgot to do that when we were doing it. And I also built the upstairs hallway off camera just because I thought you'd already seen me build a hallway, didn't need to see me build another one, but it does look nice, doesn't it? As I said, we are doing the master bedroom, which is this room and this room all in one. I know, babes. And that's the thing, guys. The bigger the house for me, the better. stop glitching in corners like this, guys, when you have decals. Like, it just looks really weird. Just use pillars. Even if you're not a massive pillar fan, you just have to use them, I'm afraid. We're actually going to be using some wallpaper in here. So the moment you walk in, I am going to be using a bench. If you're ever wanting to make your house more detailed, just fill it up to the brim. That's the only way. And I'm not going to lie, moving around the house to like copy and paste things feels really weird. I've never in my life had a build this detailed, but I thought I'd put the effort in. You guys love it. Over here, we will have the bed. You might be thinking, Reese's, are you going to make a custom bed? No. That is where I have to draw the line. I cannot possibly be building a custom bed.
How about new?
I know I've been showing off some good skills, but I'm still quite far away from being a master. But maybe by the end of 2024, guys, you will see me build a custom bed. This bedding looks really royal, doesn't it? Did you just kick me from the game? I'm sorry, it just can't handle that I've been on BLOXBURG for 3 hours. Back up here, I kind of want to do a custom dresser. I know, you might be thinking, isn't your creative juices like running out in this late stage of the video? Hell to the no!
Hell to the no.
My creative juices have just started flow. My creative juices are still as flowy as ever. So we're going to have like it slightly raised and then obviously arched out a bit because it's bougie town over here. Now, if you think that's it for the table, you are mistaken, my lords. Gonna add a little panel on it. There we go. Did it. And who remembers those lamps we used earlier? I'm still a huge fan of them. And I worked out that this is really one of the only vases that works with it. So, and then I'm actually going to add a glass of water on the side just in case you get thirsty. Those curtains we used in the dining room. I mean, it's not like they're ugly or anything. I don't think they'll be to everyone's taste, but I don't think they look that bad. When we're placing them on these windows, we actually, to make a tiny square, place them onto the tiny square and then resize using the square and just hope no one sees the square.
I have a square.
Those curtains look so much better on the smaller windows than the big ones. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they look a little bit weird halfway up there. In terms of shelves, I think these square ones, but if we resize them in, and look, you can put books really far in them and they don't even poke out the walls, which is amazing. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised at that. I did think it was gonna poke out the wall, but sometimes BLOXBURG surprises you.
Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise.
And I would add a bench at the end, but we've already got one. So instead at the end, I'm going to see if we can add a chaise lounge. I don't know if it will match. Wait. I've just had a genius moment. What if we make this like its own little seat at the end? And we can match it with fancy pillows. That looks so cute and wholesome. And guys, I have a little test to do. Whoever's still watching at this point in the video, listen up carefully. I want you to comment down below something about a pineapple. It can be as creative as you want. It can even just be the pineapple emoji. But just start writing about pineapples and confuse everyone in the comments. Because you know some people just go straight to the comments before a video. And they're going to see us talking about pineapples and they're going to wonder what is going on. Now, up in this final corner, I thought, what better way to make use of the space than to have a tea room? I know, it even sounds fancy just saying it out loud. Over here, this is kind of weird. It's like a console table mixed with a vanity. But the reason we don't have a full vanity in here is because this door leads us into the bathroom and closet. But just before we do that, we do have to add the structural items. I'm going to do the closet first. I think it's weird where we've gone through a whole build that's whole purpose is to be detailed, and we haven't yet even used the archways, which are such an easy way to add detail to any BLOXBURG build. So either side we'll have the closets. We'll start off very simple. And I'm True Reese's. Of course I'm going to colour everything the same as a gender reveal. Have you guys seen that trend? It's so funny.
I'm a Kardashian. Of course I'm gonna ask if it's organic.
Now here is where that gorgeous vanity is gonna go. We'll then look up makeup and just use whatever comes up because I don't really know the names of makeups, I'm sorry. And then we'll add the typical dresser things. And on this wall, we'll have a little coat rack because in real life, guys, I'm addicted to coats. That is my strange addiction.
My name is Mark, I'm 20 years old, and I'm in a relationship with 15 inflatable animals.
I have over 20 coats, but if you think how many coats the average person has, like 20 starts to sound like a lot more. I mean, it kind of runs in my family. We all love having a million different coats. Oh my gosh, if I get disconnected one more time, y'all. I am back after being thrown out for about 50 times this video. So how I'm going to make this bathroom look different is down to the BLOXBURG items and using a corner bath. Yes, this is honestly the kind of bath that billionaires have. Forget millionaires, billionaires. Do you think there's actually billionaires in BLOXBURG? Because think about how long it takes you to work for $1 million. Most people about 5 hours. Now imagine doing that 1,000 times to get to $1 billion. That would take you 5,000 hours. Shall we actually do some maths? 5,000 divided by 24. 208 days. You would have to work 208 days straight in order to be a billionaire in Bloxburg. And with that shock, I've actually finished the whole bathroom. So I was going to have a basin over here, but I kind of feel like it looks a little ugly. So I might actually, instead of having a basin, we'll just have the toilet. Now, 3 rooms left. Let's try and pick up the pace while keeping the detail. So I want to do the drawing room next. So I do like the pink tile, but I think I'm going to use white for the drawing room. And to stop these kind of annoying gaps along the top of the door, I don't like gaps. I'm simply just going to add this structural white beam. Now, the panels on these walls are going to be a little bit tricky and a little bit tight, but it doesn't look too bad. It's not like I'm looking at it going, yuck, yuck, ew. Why not just have the maxed out carpet in here and have it black and white? This is so like regal and royal. Everything in here has to be placed with the utmost care. And this is my very blurry inspiration picture. I don't know if it's going to end up looking like this, but we can hope. Earlier, I called this a drawing room. Now, that might have confused some people because a drawing room's really only found in a mansion. And it's basically just a fancy word for living room. So we will, of course, deck it out with all of the nicest pillows we can get. And then we're going to get the cake platters because the very typical thing you'll do in a drawing room is eat some afternoon tea. When you think of England, you think of scones and the royal family. But I think you guys have them all the way in Australia. You also have them in America. Okay, fine. I can't do an American accent. Honestly, that might seem simpler than some of the other rooms, but it's because it's smaller. And I must admit, I am enjoying doing some different roof beams for once. I have just got to make sure I bring them down each time, though. I'm going to do the laundry next. And why do I sound like Hermione Granger? Before either of you come up with another clever idea. I actually sound like her. So this back wall, we are going to be doing a nice shelf unit for gorgeous towels, gorgeous everything, really. Everything's just going to be gorgeous. Or as I like to say, a gorgina. On here, guys, I saw in this inspo picture is these jars. Now, I don't know if they've resized them or not. And basically, you then turn it into the wicker. Wait, hang on a sec. Oh, they've changed it into a different texture. I don't know how to do that. I mean, it just won't look as good as the person who built theirs does. So I don't know how they did that, TBH. And we are elegant, so I suppose we could use the elegant sink. I'd actually kind of forgotten how nice it really looks. Oh my gosh, I forgot this room was the one with like the open back door. Then we're going to get a rail of clothes. I'm then going to add a basic cube, and I'm not leaving it like that. Don't worry, peeps. That was simply just to add some more rails of clothes on top. I kind of feel like we can actually have an island in here. Now, maybe instead of chairs, you big doofus Reese's, why don't we have the washing machines like built into this island? Wow, this looks so crazy. I mean, it looks like heaven, how bright it is. Someone gave me guest. Oh yes, everyone's here ready. Why is this lady changing all my plot permissions? We'll make the walls in here green. We will be using the Victorian desk, obviously, and I think it just looks too good in front of these windows. Look, everyone jumping around the outside, so funny. Let me in. Let me in. We can also make use of those bookcases. And notice, guys, I've hardly been copy and pasting in this video because every room has been so original, but I will allow myself for this final room. We'll have some beautiful artwork on the wall. I don't know who this lady is. Wait, don't you get banned if you use real people? No, I hope not. It's just a painting. We're going to use a dining table in here. I think in the middle here, we'll just have a bunch of documents, whatever is being discussed in the office today. Finally, we'll finish this room off with a gorgeous custom plant. With that, guys, 4 hours later, we have finished True Reese's mansion. Well, kind of. This is the first time you guys are actually seeing the extended version of the house as well. Of course, we've got all the fans waiting at the gate. So I suppose it's time to exit build mode and throw a party so everyone can get in. So just before we go in, this plot values at 1,077,000. Bear in mind, we don't have any cars, really any Bloxburg items here. So that just goes to show how expensive this house is on its own. And oh my gosh, Britney Spears is here.
It makes me happy.
You guys have seen this exterior so many times. So to stop you guys knocking, let's open up the gates. And wow, y'all ain't wasting any time. So this entryway is honestly one of the most stunning things I've ever seen. First of all, we have this little chair bit. I don't really know what this is, but I just thought it's like cute in the entryway. Now, oh my gosh, it's my twin. Hey girl. We have sort of a hallway down here, the stairs here. I want to go into the kitchen first. So as an overview, this is surreal. Like this floor, these tables, these chairs, everything. And then in terms of the actual kitchen, like it's a big kitchen, and people are already cooking things up in my kitchen. Yes. And somebody said this house ate, and then someone else said you can't eat this, it's a house. I think if I ate the house, it just means I slayed it. We can also get out the back here, and can we just talk about how beautiful, like, the view out the windows is? I didn't change much in the garden. I more just moved the barbecue area over here, added a longer pool and some more fountains, etc. So if we go back inside, it feels like I'm having a giant house party here. We have the formal dining room. Now, this is very Marie Antoinette. Like, I feel very bougie sitting here. This is definitely where we'll be having a nice birthday dinner. I might as well open these doors up because people keep banging on them anyway. This side, we have the drawing room, so it's actually quite bright in here, but this is where we'll be having our afternoon tea and scones, and I really didn't think it through having this many people in here, but I just wanted to show you guys. I love you guys. But yes, beautiful room in there, guys. Now if we go down this hallway, we have a couple more rooms. This girl wants to get into the office, and I forgot a light. Oops. I told you, I was so done by this point in the video. Honestly, the last few rooms, I probably will add more detail to at some point. But this girl is apparently taking over my office room, playing some games, I'm guessing. Ooh, BLOXBURG there. Let's just go to the next room, which is the laundry. I'm going to close this just so we can see it a bit better. But I love this area over here. Favorite part of the laundry room, hands down. And look at everyone following me, guys, because I said upstairs time. So first of all, the staircase in itself is glorious, and so is the upstairs hallway, actually. Now, these rooms here are obviously just empty, but the one room we did do is my bedroom, or the master bedroom, but I'm the master of this house, and everyone's just looking in the empty room. So overall, this honestly looks like the Queen's bedroom. It is beautiful. We have my gorgeous bed. Like, look at that bed. I have my little tea room over here, so we don't even have to go down to the drawing room to have tea. If we go into the bathroom, oh, Jabba the Hutt's in here. This bathroom is definitely one of my least favorite rooms. I do like it, don't get me wrong, but it's just not as good as the others. And then finally, my closet. This closet is the most important thing in my life. There we have it, guys. That was part 2 of my house in BLOXBURG, and oh my gosh, this is just getting so laggy at this point. If you like the video, do subscribe to the channel. Happy New Year, as this guy's Satchel says, and I'll see you all in the next one.